Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Politics with Sherry Jacobus. Thank you for subscribing. And if you're not yet a subscriber, I hope you'll hit that button and help me out. So Donald Trump has announced, he's now designated Antifa as a terrorist organization. Trump and MAGA have no idea what Antifa is. First of all, it's not a formal group. If you want to find the headquarters, I think that we might have one of them over, in the American World War II cemetery in Normandy, France, because that was Antifa who stormed the beaches of Normandy. It literally means anti-fascist. So Trump has now decided that the brave soldiers who stormed the beaches of Normandy were a terrorist organization. He is stupid, but more importantly, he knows that MAGA is stupid. Okay, this is what he's doing. There's no formal organization called Antifa. It's this big, scary boogeyman that he's using because he knows he can easily scare. So the reason he says he loves the uneducated. Trump likes stupid people, and he even says smart people don't like me. It's like, duh. That is why you've got Carolyn Levitt as press secretary saying we need fewer, Harvard LBGQ, whatever studies people and all that, and more plumbers and people like that. Well, there aren't these degrees that she claims people are getting from Harvard and other institutions. She's just making it up. And what they want, they're playing class warfare. My friend, our friend Tony Michaels, by the way, he's my guest on this week's podcast over on Patreon that I have by the same name as this podcast with Politics with Sherry Jacobus. And he has, he is very, very locked in on this class warfare that the billionaires, the oligarchs have launched, and MAGA, eats it up. And so, but the billionaires are in control of this. And that's why, Trump knows that the smart people don't like him because we see clearly what he's doing. All right. So he's decided that Antifa is a terrorist organization, even though it's not an organization. But the danger here is that he can label anybody a member of Antifa and have us arrested and dragged off and put away forever. I mean, how do you prove that someone is a member of Antifa? He didn't really care if you could prove if someone was a member of a Mexican gang, right? A gang member, and have them hauled off to a prison in El Salvador. Trump didn't care. He makes it up. And his Supreme Court is going to let him do it, and a lot of his judges are going to let him do it. So anybody that he doesn't like is Antifa. And they're trying to, force a square peg into a round hole. I'm reading something from Raw Story. It's actually NBC News, but I saw it on Raw Story. The feds are coming up empty in their attempt to link Kirk shooter to left-wing groups. So Trump and his corrupt government and his corrupt FBI are trying desperately to link the shooter, to the left, and they can't. It's clear that he was not from the left. And now they're getting into some dangerous territory because they're messing around in areas where an honest court won't let them do it. But it's dangerous for all of us because, like I said, they can just claim anybody is anything. This is what they're doing. The fact that they have such a blatant agenda, rather than get to the truth, they want to pin this on him and pin him to left-wing groups, and they can't do it because he's not left-wing. In fact, probably it looks like it's just the opposite. But it's dangerous that they have this as their agenda, just like it's dangerous that Trump is just going to now be able to label anybody Antifa. And therefore, because he says so, you are a member of a terrorist organization. Well, one of the leaders of the original Antifa, at least on the American side, is a guy by the name of Dwight D. Eisenhower. Maybe you've heard of him. He led the anti-fascist effort in the United States. And a lot of our guys died over on those beaches of Normandy and other places. That's literally what Antifa means, anti-fascist. We don't have regular meetings. I guess I'm admitting, I guess I'm Antifa because I'm anti-fascist. So does that mean that Trump could have me arrested and charged with something? Terrorism? We are in such dangerous territory right now. Um, Not even so much because he's saying it, although that's dangerous, but so many of MAGA latch onto this. If you go onto your Facebook page, you find these idiots who are MAGA. Oh, and they're also Christians, fake Christians, they cloak everything in Christianity, which has no, and the stuff they're saying has no bearing at all on Christianity. But they believe this stuff that Trump says. They have no idea what the true Antifa is, and they don't care. These are the stupid people that Trump likes that follow. He needs them. This is why they don't want people going to college. They want to keep them stupid. That's the only way they can hold them on their side. So that's part of the overall agenda. Again, Carolyn Levitt coming right out and saying it. And the other thing is they're co-opting Christianity. The white supremacists are, and Charlie Kirk did this. He would say and promote the most offensive, sinful, evil ideas, these MAGA ideas. But then he would pull out some Bible verse to justify it. And this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. It has nothing to do with Christianity. And I posted some things today on social about that. They pull this out because that's the only way they can sell these horrific ideas, these horrific beliefs. And that way people can feel better about being white supremacist, going against freedom and democracy, crapping all over our Constitution, saying women should be submissive to their husbands and just get their MRS degree, saying Black people were better under slavery. I mean, these were the things that Charlie Kirk was saying. And all they have to do is pull out a Bible verse and, oh, look, we're Christian. They're not. They're not. It is the only way that they can justify the things that they believe in and that they're trying to do. Project 2025 is all about that. The Heritage Foundation is all about that. These people are about as far from true Christianity as you can get. But they use Christianity, they use their fake Christianity, they abuse it. They are abusing Christianity. And at some level, they know it because what they are espousing is evil. It is evil and it hurts other people. It has nothing to do with any teaching in the Bible, none. Anybody can just say something horrible and horrific and pull out some loose, Bible verse and attach it to it. And most of the stuff they say has absolutely nothing with what even they're trying to espouse. It is propaganda. It is abuse of the Bible and of Christianity. And you know this because you could probably have people like this in your real life. Oh, they're such Christians and they're Trump supporters. Can't have it both ways, guys. Can't have it both ways. Just like you cannot support and understand and appreciate what our soldiers did and our allies did in World War II, and then claim that you hate Antifa. Antifa's bad. Okay? Stop being stupid. Being stupid is an easier way to get to evil, to justify the evil. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. So, for those MAGA that don't understand that what your idiot president just did is labeled Antifa a terrorist group. It's not a group. There's no funding. There's no organization. There's no membership. There's no website. There's no secret underground communication. It is a label that the far right idiots made up for people who oppose fascism. Anti-fascist. That's what Antifa stands for. And I guarantee you that 90% of the MAGA idiots who are out there slamming Antifa have no idea what it means. Just like they don't know what socialism is. They don't really know what communism is. They don't know that, they don't know any of it. They don't realize that they are supporting fascism. They don't even know what that really means. These people throw around words because they are stupid and uneducated. And Trump and Project 2025 is trying to ensure that they remain that way. They're trying to ensure that MAGA remains ignorant. Because if you are ignorant, you are easier to lead around by the nose. So Trump, because he's an idiot, but he's also got dementia, he blurts things out that are so revealing. And recently he did say, smart people don't like me. Darn right we don't. And that's why you don't like smart people, Donald Trump. That's why you don't like smart people. Because they are onto you. We see you. I don't know if we're going to win this battle or not. Tony Michaels on my podcast, which I just posted here this morning, he says that he thinks that the Overton window is going to save us from the extreme right and the far left. He doesn't know when it'll happen, but it's really a well thought out notion that he has. He lays it all out. He says right now the Overton window is being stretched, mainly on the far right. And eventually it's going to have to snap back. And there are people and organizations and ideas on the inside of this Overton window that shouldn't be. And I'm pretty sure that labeling Antifa as a terrorist organization falls under that category. That is so far out of the norm. That should not be in the Overton window, but it's in there now. Okay. And again, the only way Trump is able to get away with this stuff is to keep his followers stupid. And I have found, this is just my personal observation, the people that proclaim their Christianity, particularly when they're talking about it in terms of their politics to somehow justify it, they don't want to know the truth. And so if you've got Donald Trump or Charlie Kirk or somebody like that, or Carolyn Levitt, out there, with their little gold cross, trying to convince you that it's okay that we're doing these things because we're Christian. No, you're not. On January 6th, Trump tried to have his vice president murdered in public, hung by gallows that were erected out on the Capitol lawn. That is simply the truth. That's not out of context. That is the truth. And they're just one of many truths of that day and that effort. And your MAGA Christian friends get real quiet on that front, don't they? There's a whole long list of things they get real quiet on. But anyway, I urge you to go over to my Patreon and if you don't mind subscribing to that. That's where I do the in-depth interviews. But it's really interesting, things that Tony Michaels has to say about the Overton window. We'll be putting up some clips from that over the next few days for those that don't want to subscribe. And I do post those all over social media. But in the meantime, I'm half tempted to, somebody showed me some old symbol that was sort of about anti-fascism, the people who were fighting fascism. We may need our own hat. And then Trump can spend his time having, his personal militia go out there trying to find the headquarters of Antifa. By the way, Pete Hegseth, now you're trying to use Charlie Kirk as a way, exploit Charlie Kirk's death as a way to recruit for the military. You know what he's doing there. They don't want military that are loyal to the United States of America. This is a way to build Trump's personal militia, loyal to Donald Trump. And we know this has been happening. That's just one other thing to add to the list of proof. So I'm hoping Tony Michaels is right about the Overton window. I don't know when it'll happen, but something's got to give at some point, doesn't it? Anyway, thanks for listening.